Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rise Up
Welcome.
Recovery, faith-based recovery. It is so good to have you today. And I want to welcome Shawn, my co-host.
Thank you.
So how are you doing today?
I'm blessed every day, Pastor. It's a very interesting time that we're living in, and I think that God is present throughout all of it, and it's just a really weird but miraculous time to be in.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you said that because we're going to be talking today. I want everybody to know who we are, what we offer here at the Interfaith Bible Center, and our outreaches that we do here, and then talk about how we can really maybe help others that are going to be going through some of this stuff that possibly might be happening.
Yes.
Like the food stamps stopping, possibly.
Yes,
we'll talk about that.
Yes.
And just how society is going to respond to that.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk about that. But let's go ahead and kind of open up and just let the people know who we are and what we do here. Because they just kind of say, who are these people getting up there talking?
Well, we are faith-based, inspirational, just service-oriented place to where people can come and get help.
Yes.
Everything here is free. The pastor offers everything free here. If you would really like to get your life together and you need time, the space and the private, how can I say it, place to be to where what you're feeling and saying is not shared.
Yeah.
It's shared through the community, of our place, but it doesn't go outside these walls.
Right. It's a safe place.
Yes, we're here to help.
Number one, we are a church. The Interfaith Bible Center has been here, since the 60s. I gave my life to Christ here in 79.
Yes.
Freshly off alcohol and methamphetamine, my husband and I. And we served together here. Him and I, we became the pastors in 96. And that's when it was crack alley.
Oh,
I mean, the crack was so bad. Heroin has always been here. Alcohol has always been here.
Yes.
We've always had to struggle with the prostitution issues, drug dealing, but we basically don't focus so much on the condition. We focus more on what God can do.
The solution.
In the
solution.
Middle of all of this.
Because everything is changing around here. People really don't realize that there has to be a starting point and an ending point. And I believe that we were the starting point of the international district here in Albuquerque.
Oh, yeah.
Because our message is starting to spread. And it's going throughout the community. It's going throughout the city of what's happening here. And there are very good things happening in this place. I mean, lives are being changed.
Yes. What's your favorite part of what we do?
My favorite part, actually, you're not going to believe this, serving. I finally understand what serving means. Giving of yourself when you really have nothing to give, nothing else to offer except you.
Yeah.
Maybe just a kind word.
Sure.
Just a listening ear.
That's all they need. I don't know. We've always been instrumental in giving out food, like food boxes, clothing. That is how Jerry and I started out here in the 90s. Okay.
Yes.
And we used to give a ton of food and clothing. And then we just would do our Sunday service and Wednesday night Bible study, Wednesday during the day Bible study. And then he got cancer.
Yeah.
He got the first cancer. And so I had to do more of the leadership.
Yeah.
And he basically covered me, with his covering. And he said, honey, I need you to lead now.
Mm-hmm.
And which was an honor to do that here. And he blessed it,
Well, he prepared you. He prepared you. You had this vision for a long time, Pastor.
Right.
I mean, when I first heard of your vision, that was the first time I had stepped into this church.
Yeah, it was right. We were just talking about it. We were just talking about the vision of doing more.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
We didn't even know we had homeless people here.
No, we didn't.
And I was like, who are these faces,
Mm-hmm.
And we did. And we got to meet them, giving them bread and goodies out on the sidewalk. And then we brought them in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was small because we didn't have much. But what we had, we gave out.
Oh, yeah.
And it was cereal.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, God started bringing us big old giant pans, and we started serving all kinds of food. And it was beautiful, just to have that. But we knew that we wanted to help with more.
Oh.
There was so much more of a need.
Oh,
and
the
then
whole
we
community.
created
the
shelter. I never thought we would have a shelter there.
Well, that was a long time coming. I mean,
we thought maybe
you really worked really hard to get this shelter, and if anybody does not believe this shelter is a blessing to the whole community. I mean, the things that these homeless people are doing and just how can I say changing.
Yeah.
Even in the streets, I mean, they're taking the message out to the streets. They're starting to keep the streets clean. They're starting to listen.
That's good.
They're starting to listen.
We want them to be part of the community solution.
Yes.
Not the community problem, right?
Exactly. And it's very strange to say, but I've got over 65, 70 APD following me on my Facebook,
Nice.
and I mean, they have a very rough job to do,
now, I think
because they have to they have to take their emotions and everything out of it, because they don't want to do most of the things that they're asked to be doing, but they have to.
I've always had favor with all my commanders here. I mean, I got to know them being the neighborhood president, for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through a lot of them. Oh, yes. We had all kinds of changes of commanders, but they always stood with me.
Oh, yes,
whenever we needed help.
Yes,
they were there to help us, and which we really do appreciate.
Yes, we do.
Hats off to all of our officers. If you get to watch this podcast today. Again, the Interfaith Bible Center, we're a church on the move, and we really want to be, progressive. We really want to interact with our community, because it's not only the homeless that come and take the services.
Oh, no.
It's even people that are in apartments, but they're running out of food.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll come out and have lunch, or if something happens with their apartment or their house, they come take the shower, because we offer showers and lunch Monday through Friday from 12 to 3. To Saturday, right?
To Saturday, yes.
Yeah, Monday through Saturday from 12 to 3, you can get a 25-minute shower with a lunch. So we feed, we shower.
Yes.
And we give clothing here during the week here also. Now for the community itself, the non homeless folks that maybe they have houses and apartments, but they run low on food. We have beautiful food that come through here almost every single day.
Yes, we do.
Trader Joe's, we've got ABC Bakery, we pick up. We've got Sprouts. We've got Church on the Rock. Is it the Rock? I think that's what it's called, or it used to be called Noonday. They get overloads. Yeah. So they bring it. We've got God's Warehouse. Now that they're waiting for their building. Yeah. St. Francis. Well, Trinity, the Trinity Center, they're the ones that go out and get. Olive Garden.
Yes.
We get Olive Garden twice a week.
We get a lot.
A month. Yeah. So
We get
I
a
mean,
lot.
we eat very, very good. Convention
And
center,
the
so
convention
they bring
center.
us that.
Mhm.
So yeah, we help a lot with food.
And you know the surprising thing about that, Pastor, when we first started doing this, you know, everybody would just come, take,
Hmm.
and now the community is responding back. I mean, people with homes, with houses, with when they get an overload of things like their clothes or their
Right.
food, or they come and they
Donate
place
it.
it on
Yes,
the
they
tables,
do.
you
Yeah,
know,
we're
and
starting to
they
see
give
that.
it back, and it's
And
such a beautiful
yes,
thing.
we love that because when you can be a community and when you're going through the challenges, especially the ones that are coming
Mm-hmm.
now with this shutdown with the government,
Oh my
you
God.
know, Shawn, I don't know, I'm just thinking maybe we better start making the food boxes
Oh
and
well.
then give it to the folks like that because there's already a good flow of people that come.
Yes.
And some of them, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the food insecurity, but they have to grab and they have to
Take it.
fight,
They take
and we
so
don't want
much.
that.
No, we
Yeah,
don't. No,
and
they
they
take
don't
so
need to
much.
do
Leave
that.
some
So
for other
I'm
people.
thinking if people aren't going to get their food stamps, possibly in November,
Yes.
you know, they and like you said, you went to income support and they
Yes, yes, I went
and
there yesterday, and you know, I had to refound for my EBT, and you know, I thought all I had to do was just fill out the paperwork and renew, you know,
right.
but they told me no, you've got to recertify all over again. So you know, it took me an hour and a half to get out of there, but I got a lot of information because they told me that the whole system will be switching over, and I
Wow.
don't have to file again for the next 3 years till 2028,
Wow.
and that by that time the whole system will be completely
Yeah.
different,
Yeah, it is.
and and that possibly, you know, if we don't get our food stamps for November, the state can
Might.
carry it,
Yeah, might.
might.
So don't fall
So
so much on that,
so
people, because
yes, it's
we
going,
don't know.
yeah,
So
it's going to
kind
go
of,
from state to
yeah,
state.
kind of prepare for both. There's a possibility, is what they told Shawn, you know, that maybe some of the revenue from the balloon festival, maybe some of that can be taken over to compensate for food stamps, you know, for the loss of the shutdown. So we don't know.
Yes.
I had to tell a mother today, and she gets like $800
Mm-hmm.
for her 4 children. And
Yeah.
I said, now, honey, you might not get your food stamps in November.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. So be
there's
prepared.
some possibilities, and so I'm telling you so you could prepare
Yeah.
mentally, because I says you and the kids have everything you need here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to lack for nothing, but you know, people use those food stamps because
Yes.
that sometimes that's the only income they have.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you know, not having that is going to be a big blow to a lot of people. And what they
And
were saying too is there's going to be more shoplifting,
oh,
possibly more
oh,
thefts,
well,
more crime.
well, Pastor, you have to consider with and nobody getting paid, not our military,
Yeah.
not everything like that. You know, the government is asking a lot of the people to
Mhm.
carry. You know, well, if we can't eat, how come they can?
Mhm.
And it's going to carry on into the
Yeah.
streets, and I can't see how it can help this
No.
economy any,
No, it's
because if
horrible.
you shut down EBT, do you
Uh-huh.
know how many jobs that is going to eliminate?
Yeah. It's going to be
And
horrible. It is.
it's
And not
going to
only
be
that,
bad.
but also the housing vouchers could stop.
Exactly.
They're not gonna come through. So that's
Yeah.
huge too,
Well,
because you know people have been waiting and waiting for their vouchers or to get into an apartment, and those that finally did, Section 8, all of that will cease.
yes,
So
cease
they
to
might
exist.
start evicting people
Oh,
that have
yes.
already gotten in. So
And where are
and
they
then
going
here
to go?
comes more homelessness. You
Where are they
know,
going to go, Pastor?
yeah, I know,
It's
because I keep hearing West Side Shelter's full.
yeah, and
You know, and I don't know about Eastgate, you know, the
yeah.
gateway, you know, I know that they can only take 50 women, and then they have an overflow.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to fill up because ACS will be referring a whole lot of people there. So
it's getting so cold now too.
The winter, I know.
I mean, we take all blankets, all comforters, because we need them. I mean, people are asking us constantly, tents, anything they can to survive out there.
Right. And
because a lot of people don't like to come into a shelter.
We're already putting aside the blankets, you know, and they're coming in really slow though, but there'll be a bigger influx soon because as soon as they come in, we give them out.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, and I tell them, take care of this, you guys. Be more responsible with it because I can't just give you a blanket every week. I don't have them, and we're dealing with hundreds of people. So, you know, we're telling them just be responsible with it. Put it in a safe place where you know it's going to be there when you come back. You know, well, the city's going to take them.
The city's going to take them. That's what they say. Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to have to think just about where can I stash it early in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, or put it around you and walk away when you see the city. You know,
do something.
Something's going to happen because, you know, Pastor here, I'm doing my best.
No, you're doing a fantastic job.
We're going to run out, you know, and as long as there's an influx of them coming in, because we are giving out.
Because we're at capacity now, so, you know.
Yeah, I can't take any more today. No, I had the Gateway called me and I took one of theirs. And then we had some from State of the Heart.
Yeah.
But we really want to help. We really want to do what we can do. But, you know, everybody's got to work with us, you know, and we like peace.
Oh, we try.
We do.
We try our hardest.
Peace at the Compassion Center.
But sometimes it gets out of hand, but we control it. We do.
Right. We know how to diffuse it quick. And I think with all of us working at it, you know, and now with the lack of people are going to need more food, you know, I think we'll probably have to change the way we're doing especially the biggest day that we give out the food is Tuesdays.
And Saturdays.
Sometimes we give up to 300 pounds of meat, you know, nice stuff. I mean, this is pretty beautiful vegetables and fruits and meats and breads. So, you know, we've just been kind of, okay, every 5, go ahead and fill up a box. But I don't know. We might have to start maybe or using some of those crates we have back there.
I'm building something.
He's building another building. But I don't know. We're going to have to really figure it out. Because I just kind of feel I don't want any tension. You know, I want people to say, hey, this is going to last you here. And then you have Sister Teresa. She gives hers on Saturdays, right?
Saturdays and Fridays.
And then God's Warehouse will be open by Christmas, Pastor Chuck said.
Good.
Then they can start with them too. And, you know, some of the other shelters. But yeah, and then we still do the recovery night, Monday through Friday, and dinner. And then so we do that. And we're just seeing some beautiful things happening with that because we're able to help the folks over at State of the Heart and bring some of their folks in that are on the way to getting an apartment.
You know what surprised to me, Pastor? You had told me, I guess it was midsummer. You said, you know, we need to expand the tent shop. We need to expand it out by like 10 more feet. And I said, no, give me a while. Let me figure out how to do it and this, that, and the other. But you were right. I mean, more and more people are starting to come, you know, and it's like, wow, we ain't got enough seating.
Our recovery is just busting out.
Yes.
And we're loving it because we don't force people to come in and eat with us and have recovery. They have an option. They can eat with us at 6 and have recovery till 7. And then we're going to feed them again. The other group that did not choose to come, it's called At the Gate. Feed at the Gate.
Yes, ma'am.
So we give them supper at the gate until 8 o'clock. So look at all the feeding we do. Almost 175 meals a day.
But you know, Pastor, the funny thing about that is even the ones that don't come in, they really still are in because we do this outside, up under the tent. And they're listening anyway.
Yeah, you can hear it.
And they're listening anyway. So even though, you know, they're not participating as to say, in the recovery.
Right.
They're in recovery anyway
Yeah.
because they're
We're
listening.
hoping, because this fentanyl and this methamphetamine it's just so sad to see the grip that it has on
Yes.
people, you
Right.
know, and I know that they want to. I mean, especially when we had our recovery party, there was a good amount of them in there that hasn't even started,
Yes.
you know, to detox or anything. And you know, you could just see it in their eyes, you know, and we wanted to encourage them. And like we tell
Yes.
everybody, even if you're here to listen, you're in recovery.
Yes.
You know, so just accept that. Start it there.
And that's a very good barometer to start at. Are you serious? Are you serious about this? Then there is a place for you to go to
Right.
get
Yes.
detox,
Yes.
medically detox,
Yeah.
so you do not, so you don't have to die
Right.
in this.
That's right. You know, and then the methamphetamine, like they'll say, well, I don't do fentanyl, I do methamphetamine. That's not true,
No,
because the
that's
meth now has fentanyl in it.
fentanyl is in everything,
And
Pastor.
everything. So
Everything,
you're double
marijuana,
addicted.
everything.
So you need the medical detox.
Yes, yes, and
Just
people aren't understanding that because if they think that they can just stop, they can't.
they can go for a while,
They can go for a while, but they
but then
can't.
they're going to go back
They can't.
because they there's other issues
It's
that
so
they need.
addictive.
Right.
It's so
Right.
addictive.
So even if they were like to say, this is what I watch. I watch when they come in, they say, okay, I've been 3 days, Pastor, I've been clean. And I'm like, that's amazing, but you really should be in detox.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually by 4 days, the fourth day, they're gone.
Yes, yes.
They're already back at the street,
Right.
you know, so they need that longevity of they call it sober sampling time.
Yes,
That's the time that they need that time to say, hey, you know, I'm getting clarity of mind, and this is what I need to do now. I need to consider, do I want to reconcile with my family?
Yes.
Do I want to start now working on my health and my mental health?
Yes.
65% of all addicts have a mental health disorder.
Yeah, it's
So
the drugs.
well, they elevate.
Yeah.
They elevate
Yes.
too. So we have to look at the mental health part, and then we have to also look at the physical. We've let ourselves go, to the point where, well, we look in the mirror and say, well, I look okay, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, but they're
But
looking
on
from
the
the out, from the inside out.
because
not
your
from the
heart is
outside
saying, oh
in.
yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
You know, you're on the border of a stroke.
Oh yes.
You know,
Yes.
especially with alcohol, you know, all of them affect our brain. We know that. But you know, the stomach lining,
Everything.
you know, when the liver starts to go, what happens is all that pressure comes up. That's why they get what's called varices in their throat.
Oh.
And they, just like women's varicose veins.
Yes. Yes.
The pressure starts building up the veins to where they'll explode and they can bleed out.
Oh
my husband, when he had the liver cancer, he had to get them banned because the varices were starting to protrude out, and he could have bled out. And there's others that have. And I've seen that happen with them, and they've told me their stories. You know, even with the fentanyl blues, you know, as they're smoking them, and they're utilizing the foil.
Yeah.
So it's a double whammy. So you're getting this foil poison along with the poison of the fentanyl, and it's starting to create pockets in their throat too.
Yes.
And we had one of the brothers, and thank the Lord, he started going to State of the Heart.
Oh yeah.
Because they were dying. They were dying.
And we were watching it.
Him and his girl.
Yeah,
they
were
watching dying them. And would watch them, and they couldn't even hold their head up. It was so bad. And he told me that they had to airlift him, that he stopped breathing.
Wow.
And they had to go in and start popping that pus. But that was caused from that.
Yeah.
So, you know, there is so much that goes on, and then we have to deal with the guilt and the shame.
Oh yes.
And the things that we did, and the people we abandoned in our addiction. So it's just so much that we have to go through in recovery, right?
Yes, there's a lot. There's a lot to deal with, but there's a reason why we have to deal with it, because you know this world needs to be healed.
Yes.
I mean,
so
the
much.
whole world needs to be healed. I mean, there is so much destruction out there today that nobody knows which way to turn. We are trying to follow all our leaders, and all our leaders around the world don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is look to God.
I know.
But they don't.
He brings us clarity of mind.
They look within themselves.
Yeah.
What do I want? And it's a sad state.
It is.
It's a sad state.
If you're walking down the street and you look to the right and you see those that are just laying on the sidewalk, or they're just up against it and they have their things with them, they just give in.
Yeah.
They give back in.
Yeah.
Because all the emotion, all of the hurt, all the trauma, like you're talking about, the whole world needs to be healed of something, because we can see it. The homelessness is all over the world. And it's bad. I mean, then we can see how it's taking over Los Angeles, how it's taking now San Francisco.
Seattle.
The president's thinking about going back into those. Oregon, they say it's gotten really bad over there too. So, I mean, Albuquerque isn't Disneyland. We know that.
We know.
They know where to find them. But I think there has to be a balance, and they have to say, hey, yeah, you've been in this addiction for a long time, and there is a way out.
Yeah.
I mean, how long were you in your addiction?
I was in my addiction for over 22 years.
That's a long time.
Over 22 years, yeah. It took a majority of my life, because if I wasn't in addiction, I was in jail or prison. It's very complicated way of living life and trying to survive, and get what you need to survive for that day. But it all leads to ruin. It really does. There is no way out except jail or prison. Jail or death.
And I'm really proud of you, Shawn, that you took your way and just said, you know what, I know, just like step one, my life has become unmanageable. I'm powerless over this thing. This thing is so strong, and I don't want to be like this anymore. And I don't want to give it permission to finish me off.
Oh, no.
So you went, and you went through the detox, came back out and said, I like drugs.
Can't do it.
Sorry, Pastor.
Can't do it.
I ain't gonna, no, I like drugs too much. I'm good, okay? Then that night you went back and you told them, put me in a year program, because like we're talking about, there's so many issues that we have to deal with. It's just not like, okay, I use drugs. It's like that web chart we were talking about last night. Just say, addiction, and then point all these arrows out and say, trauma, anger, feelings of abandonment, abuse issues, so much stuff that we have low self-esteem. Because if you have low self-esteem, then you think, well, I don't deserve this. It's too much work anyways. I'll just stay like this.
And you start believing it.
Yeah.
You start believing it. And Pastor, when the first they put me in a 50-day program, I knew that wasn't going to be enough. Wow. I knew that. Wow. I knew that, and I said, I'm not leaving here. I'm not leaving here either.
So were you so you were still thinking in your mind about it? You were still romancing with this drug and the lust of it.
I knew it, but I knew I was fighting for my life. And I knew I needed some time up under my belt. I knew that.
Thank God.
That I was not strong enough. But you have to get a clarity of your mind, like you said, and you got to really lock in on God and let Him lead the way.
Yes.
Because He's going to show you the way.
Yes, He will.
But first, He's got to awaken you.
Yes. And He will be our strength. We can't do it without Him.
Yes.
I mean, we can only go so far on our own, willpower.
Yes.
But then there's other areas of our life that we're not dealing with. God can surface them and help heal us of them. And then we're going to get stronger.
Yes.
And then something else will come up.
You know why? You know why? Because our addiction program is not just about addiction of drugs. It's addiction of your whole self, your whole body, your whole soul. I mean, you don't have to be just addicted to drugs.
Right.
It could be sex. It could be money. It could be a whole lot of things.
Bad risk taking.
Yes.
A lot of stuff. And we were saying that last night at our recovery, the Rise Up. You know, we were saying you don't have to be an addict to get something powerful out of what we're talking about. You know, and because of the fact that, you know, we all can lie. As we're looking at right now, we're looking at our strengths and our weaknesses. We're taking that inventory on ourselves. And I thought, well, let's do a weakness, a character weakness, and a character strength.
Yes.
What can we use? So we started with I lie when what? When do you lie? And it was like, oh, you know, I got a kick out of one answer. I never lie. Well, you just did.
Yeah. Sure.
But I mean, even when I say we're full, and I'm like, well, we really had like a bed. You just lied, Joanne.
Yeah.
You know, so I have to go back and say, you know, there's another way that I can let people know that, you know, without, because I don't want to be a liar anymore. I was a good liar. I mean, I could have gotten an Academy Award, you know, and I mean, I gave an example of a lady that lied to me that her husband had beat her and that she had the kids in the car and all they needed was $40 to get a room. And she knew I had just raised a little money at a little fundraiser.
Yeah.
You know, and I was so young in the ministry, you know, and I believed everybody. I was vulnerable. And so I said, oh, honey, I have $40. I can help you. And then her husband came into the lunch program the next day and he goes, have you seen her? And I said, and I had that attitude like, you wife beater. You know? And I was like, no, I have not. And then he said, yeah, she took off with all the money we had and she's been out smoking crack all night. And I was like, oh my God. But that was my wake up, you know, and I had to learn.
Yeah.
But she was good, you know, and we get good just by lying.
Oh, yes,
if you don't stop it and if you don't repent of it, you know, if you don't feel that conviction in your heart, it's going to be real easy to lie.
But that's
real
what I'm
easy
saying,
to lie.
Pastor.
And we don't want to be a liar,
and
right?
That's what I'm saying, Pastor. Once you, this recovery thing is not easy because once you figure out where you're going wrong and what you did wrong and how to prevent it from happening again, something else pops up in your life that you have to work on.
You got lists of it.
I didn't know I was like that. You know, and it's the conclusion of looking yourself in the mirror and saying, who am I?
That's why Jesus said, you know, when you become a new creation in him, when you give your life to Christ, when you repent of all your sins and you say, okay, Lord, I'm yours. And he's like, clean slate. You are mine and I will show you. He doesn't just say, now become that. He's like, let me show you. And where do we find Jesus? In his word.
Yes, ma'am.
It's this intimate personal relationship with him. We can feel him. We can hear him in our heart, you know, and when his, you know, he tells us, you know, even let me give you the scripture from Romans 12, you know, present your bodies as a living sacrifice. And look what we've done with the bodies, drinking, you know, boy, give me some gin, give me some rum, you know, give me some Coke, bourbon and Coke, beer. I mean, I know what I did to myself from 12 to 21. I was so burnt already. And that was the temple of the Holy Spirit that I was, you know, polluting and perverting. And then he tells us, you know, it's present that body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, which is our reasonable service. That means that's the least you can do. You can present that for worship, to give it to him. So then that's when you say, wow, you know, I need to make sure that I'm keeping my temple clean.
Oh, yes, Pastor. And like I said, you know, last week I told everybody that, you know, I have went out again. But, you know, the surprising thing about that in my 3.5 years, you know, of being clean, when I went back in, they gave me a list of the pills when I had first went in.
Wow.
of what I had over 12 different medications.
Wow.
And when they took my vitals and everything like that, they said, you're fine.
Oh,
You're
thank
fine.
the Lord.
No high
Wow,
blood
no high
pressure,
blood pressure.
no anxiety,
Wow.
no depression. No. They said, so
Wow.
what are these stuff? What are these pills? Do you want to take? I said, none of them.
Yeah, I'm
So
good.
God will renew your body and restore your soul.
I love that. And then he goes into the renewal of the mind.
Yes.
He tells us, renew your mind because we have polluted it. The internet,
yes.
you know, we talked about
yes.
all the sexual stuff that flies up in your phone and, you know, in your computer, and even pastors, you know,
Yes.
they're losing their churches over this stuff.
Wow.
Their marriages, or it's causing them to want to get deeper into another type of a sinful relationship.
Yeah.
You know, so there's so much lust out there, so much desires out there, that if we don't keep ourselves, you know, in the word, praying and doing, you know, not just focusing so much on us. I mean, don't forget you. We need self-care too.
Oh,
but you know, give out of yourself too for others that are hurting more than you.
Yes, we were speaking about that this morning. I was talking to you. I said, Pastor, you know, I'm going through this situation now that I've come back. So many people are wanting to talk to me, be around me, conversate with me, and I just don't see how you do it. I said, how do you get the time to be by yourself so you and God can? And you explained it to me, and I told you, well, I take off in the morning now because when I'm over there, I'm always needed. Somebody always needs to talk to me, and this, that, and the other. But I need my time and my space with God. That's how I start my day.
That's how we have to, or we're not going to be any good to anybody.
Yes.
We're going to be quick to react to anger. We're going to be frustrated. We're going to be judgmental. So we really have to make sure we're taking care of us first. You know, we're in prayer. We've already sought God. We invited him into our day and asked him for help, because we never know when somebody's going to punch somebody in the face. You know, it's like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, so we have to be ready for that, but we got to be in control too at the same time, right? And then we have to speak the truth.
Yes.
And we have to prevent, and we have to diffuse.
Yes.
And we have to remind everybody that works here. There's 8 of you guys right now. We have to remind everybody that's taking a position here that we're servants.
Yes, we are.
This is not a job.
Yes, we are.
This is a ministry. And we have to use a certain amount of humility every single day.
Every single day.
Because, I mean, the testosterone kicks up, and it's like, what'd you say? You know, and we can't do that.
We can't. We
can't.
We have to be the difference. We have to be the difference. We have to show a different way of solving a problem.
Yeah.
For every problem, there is a solution.
Yes, and we will master it one day.
Yes, we will.
We're going to fail some days. I mean,
of course.
I've had women in here come through the door, start stealing. I didn't know they were even in here. And when I gave them the way out, just go ahead and go. Just leave that there and you can go ahead and go. And they're like, I ain't going. You know, and they wanted to fight me, you know, and I didn't want to have to do that. I didn't want to have to push them down, you know, and push them out of here.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, you know, I've never had to do it again. But I've gotten better, you know, and I think we all need to know that when we have opened ourselves up to this type of population,
but Pastor,
we have to be prepared for them.
But Pastor, God does not raise the weak to be walked on.
No, we're not doormats.
We are warriors. We are soldiers.
Right.
We are his army. And we just do it in a different way.
Yes. So, you know, and it's just as we learn, you know, and I went down to the gentleman and we talked about it as a team, you know, and we just said, hey, you know, you got to be more conscious of this. This is going to happen again. What if somebody comes at us with a knife? What if they have a gun in their back pocket?
But
you know, and that happened.
But
that happened one time when we were doing the breakfast thing.
Yes.
This guy wanted another guy's hat, and he pulled the gun out. And I saw a young lady and her dog come in, and she looked terrified. And I didn't know what the heck was going on. And I opened the door, and I'm like, hey, good morning. And I see this guy with a gun, and then he puts it on me.
Yeah.
And he goes, Pastora, get inside the house, get inside the church right now. And I shut the door and called 911. And I had somebody else here that was working. He was terrified. And I said, it's okay. Just get to the stage. And the 911 operator said, do not go out. Don't answer that door. And that guy got pistol whipped. He did. The one that protected me.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt so bad. But we never know. No. In today's, you know, what's going to happen? Who's going to have a weapon? You know, we have to be just careful, you know, and diligent and prayerful and loving and kind and always looking to diffuse and have a solution rather than involving in escalating it.
Exactly.
And then there's not going to be good because, I mean, that guy's mom came running and she wanted to get in a fight with other people there too, right? With that situation. So we calmed her down. You know, we calmed her son down. We explained to him, you know, and got him a lunch, gave him a hug, you know, and said, God bless, you know, I'm sorry all this happened. We're going to be okay. And we went and we dealt with the other one.
Yes.
And it was funny too, the National Guards.
The National
they
Guard
drove
was right
up,
there,
man. They're like, you all need some help here. And we're like,
no,
we're good. We handled it because we've learned that, Shawn.
Yes, we have.
Even when we've called the police sometimes and they don't come, we've had to learn how to take care of our situations ourselves.
Take care of it ourselves, but we never hurt anybody.
No, we don't want to hurt.
You have taught me well, and I'm trying to teach this to others. When we have to go against somebody, we don't do it singly.
Right.
We go in a group.
As a team.
And because not one person is going to try and get out of hand with 3, 4 different people.
Right.
And we just
and if they do, you just get one arm, one on the other. You just lift them gently, and one will open the gate. You put the other one there with their belongings, and you lock the gate.
Yes.
And then don't engage.
Yes. Don't speak to them anymore.
Because if they still want to keep fighting and calling your names, and most likely they're under the influence. And if you're going to give them time back and by engaging, what are we doing?
Nothing.
If you ignore them and just say, we're sorry it didn't work out, have a good night, and then walk away.
Yes.
Don't be sassy.
Yes.
You know, don't engage. And it usually just stops.
Yes. Yes.
You know, but we have to learn that. Yeah. We have to learn that. And we're going to be on year 5 in June. So.
But we're one of the safest shelters here in New Mexico.
We are. I agree. You know, people love being here, and we're glad.
Yes.
You know, and my heart is for the elderly too.
Oh yeah.
We have elderly people here.
We have elderly. We have children. We have handicapped. We try to serve all. The only thing that we really can't serve is the mentally.
Yeah.
You know, the
it's too much on them.
Yeah,
it's too much on them.
Schizophrenics and things like that, because you know they're not used to being in such a large group, you know.
And when the lights go out, they want to go out.
Yeah, so
and they can always go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, we'll get your stuff.
Yeah.
We'll open the gate for you.
Yeah.
You know. And that's why I tell everybody, because I get calls all day long from everybody. 311 always refers them to us. And I'll always say, you know, I have to kind of do a little assessment with and I ask them these questions. And some of them, they just want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no. They sleep through the night.
I'm not going to tell you they've been in every shelter in Albuquerque.
My God. And then you get them and they're chasing them around, trying to calm them down. And they're jumping the fence. And it's like, whoa. So, yeah, we have learned a lot through the ages. That one lady, she laid down in the street. She's like, I'm not moving. And I was like, oh my God. Officers, please help this lady. She's going to get hit by a car. But yeah, and it's not because we're being selective, you know, because we don't want to be bothered. It's because it's not good for them.
No.
Would you want to go into that situation?
No,
I wouldn't want to go in a situation like that.
No.
So we really think about, you know, is this person going to really, really be a good fit here?
And plus, we don't have the medical training to handle things like that. So, you know.
Well, we know how to do CPR.
No, we do.
We learn that.
We do.
We know how to give Narcan.
Yes, we give out a whole lot of Narcan.
Yeah,
we really do.
We've learned how to do that. And, you know, so we're learning, and like I said earlier, if this is the population that God has called us to love and help and serve,
then we're going to do it.
And we're going to have to learn how to deal with them.
Yes.
Because
we're going to do it.
There's just some that they'll never come into a shelter.
No.
They're and they're going to risk freezing, and it gets very scary.
Yes.
When you think about that, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Well, we just got to continue to pray that this next mayor, or if it's the same mayor, that they will have better solutions, how they can help the curbside homeless people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them would rather just stay on there, and it's because the addiction is running and ruling them, and because they can't smoke drugs in the shelter.
Oh yes, that's the main reason.
They have to. They want to be out there where they can.
Yeah.
So that's sad, but at the same time, more problems like State of the Heart. I'd like to see come back in. We have the Vibe that just opened up, and then I just heard of another one. One of our other fellas that was staying with us, he just stopped in to say hi, and he said, "Yeah, I met this other one off Eubank."
Choices?
No, it was another one.
Oh yeah.
So
Choices
I'm happy.
Just opened up 5 houses too.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah,
I hope they will continue to keep the focus on recovery.
Yes.
Because then they have a psychiatrist on board, because a lot of these are run by the state and federal, so they get grants and money.
Yeah.
But with the shutdown,
yes,
that could put a stop to that too.
Yeah. Well,
so hopefully,
it's
we
all
don't have none of their money.
It's all in
so
God's
good?
hands. Yes.
High five on that. We have no federal state money, so we're happy with that, because nobody's going to come in and say, "Oh, sorry, you have to shut down because I can't give you any money."
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we have beautiful people, people that help us,
and God,
just so grateful for them.
Puts people in our lives that everything is taken care of.
I know.
Taken care of. I always tell her, I said, from your mouth to God's ear. That's all that happened, and it just automatically happens.
It's just happening, and we're excited about that.
Happens.
We serve such a living God. In Isaiah, it says, "Unto us a child is born," and he shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Almighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. He is our provider.
Yes.
He's moving in lives. He's touching hearts. He's healing the trauma. And we just get to watch.
And so it's amazing.
It is amazing. I'm excited what the Lord's going to do for this winter. And winter is a really good time to get a lot of these folks, because they get tired of being frozen.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll say, "I think I'm going to go ahead and come in either with us or go to another." And I think the more options they have out there with treatment, I think we're going to see them get off the streets more.
So. I hope so, because we don't need another one to freeze
our
to
little
death.
Dogs,
That's such a useless waste of life. I mean,
Yeah, and it happens.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
All the time.
I don't know how many people die every year in New Mexico through the winter. But with this whole idea of food stamps now going away, I don't know about Social Security.
No, they're not going to touch
and
that.
And the housing is.
We talked about that. The only 3 things that they are not touching is Medicare, Medicaid, and SSI.
Yeah,
that's the only things they cannot touch yet.
And I hope, I know.
Yet.
So I don't know about this waiting game. And again, we got to just pray, because a lot of lives are going to be be in trouble. A lot of kids, these are children, that they count on this food, that's coming in with their parents' income. And food stamps is huge for families. So
it's huge for the economy.
Yeah.
Do you realize how many people are going to be out of work because of this?
Well, when you think about the stores too, I mean, if the meat isn't moving, isn't it going to get bad?
All of it.
I mean, all the vegetables and fruits. I mean,
it's just sitting there.
It's just going to sit there because you're going to have a lot less people getting it.
Unless they rob the stores.
And they're saying, I know, and that those things can happen.
Yes.
But they're also saying, that it's going to be really, really hard on the elderly too. So
we'll see.
The food banks are already overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I'm thinking for us, we want to help. We might have to just change a little bit of the structure.
Yes.
Of how we give out that way, because the tension is going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
people are going to be tensed because they lost their food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we'll talk about that solution when we get off the air, because I got a solution for you already.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to listen and to learn about the Interfaith Bible Center and the Compassion Service Center. It's just it's God's heart. That's all I can say. It's His will, it's His bill. And He provides everything we need. We're going to be having a Thanksgiving dinner. We don't shut down we don't close. We're open 365 days a year. So we will have a big Thanksgiving dinner. We'll be having a big Christmas, so we do all the trimmings.
And she loves this time of the year.
Oh, I love Christmas. You'll be seeing all the trees up soon. And they're like, Pastor, you didn't even celebrate Thanksgiving yet. And I got some pumpkins. I'm going to be putting half a pumpkin. So, yeah, it's a good time. I mean, everybody needs encouragement. So,
yes.
Thank you, Shawn, again for being my co-host.
Always.
And, we're trying to educate and have a conversation about addiction, about what's going on and how it's going to affect our communities. So until we meet again, God bless everybody.
God bless y'all.
Have a good night.
Good night.